West 401 and the Express from the Allen to Kiel. We got a right lane blocked through that area. On 400 construction.
You should hear how stupid this woman is. I highly encourage you to check out her podcast. I highly encourage you to check out the podcast, whatever this woman's name is. She's dumb as rocks. She's got the dumbest guests on, too.
After all, good things grow in Ontario, paid for by the governments of Ontario.
While they're pointing out that you have levels of government yelling at other levels, keep it up, Goof, keep it up, Goof. That's 3 times. Come on, Goof, keep it up.
Because of junk fairies like Charlotte, 1-800 got junk to make junk disappear.
So I've had one problem after another.
Answering system is on. Answering system is on. Hello. No one.
What'd you do to my fucking phone?
Please leave a message after the tone.
Just destroy everything. Oh yeah, somebody vandalized the breakers on my breaker panel too. So the split receptacles aren't split correctly anymore. I don't know why that's in English. You should hear how dumb this woman is, the things she said. I highly encourage you to check out her podcast, whatever today is that it's on. Dumb as hell. All she knows how to do is do what Daddy told her to do. Whoever's patting her on the head told her to fucking say. That's all she can do. Pure propaganda. Answering language. English or French. What happened to Spanish? Well, I can't hear that. There's problems with the electricity, there's problems with everything. People causing problems with everything. It's okay though. It's okay. His bag's got bigger. No, when he started out, he was using these little ones. Then he started using the normal size ones. Now he's using these motherfuckers. He got big plans, I guess. So, I saw 2 and yeah, that brings me to the next thing. If I can get this, so since the phone is working just barely right now, and since it takes shitty fucking pictures now, both cameras are shot. Once I get all the files off this and onto wherever I want them, I can put that SanDisk card in the other phone and use it. Or I can use this adapter with the camcorder. And instead of me talking shit about what I did today, I could just show you. Oh, I saw 2 Bombardier streetcars, or whatever. What do you call them? LRTs on the train. Yeah, it's been like 8 years. And they're still shipping them back and forth, either delivering them or repairing them. The streetcars where if you use the brakes, it causes permanent damage to the chassis. Using the brakes causes permanent damage to the chassis. That's great. They fucked it up over and over for years, never completed the order correctly. And their response is, we'll send it back and we'll fix it again. That's their response. Of course, John Tory's dumbass. He's going to spend, what'd they spend? Millions of dollars of capital expenses for a system that already doesn't recover any of its operating expenses. 80 cents on the dollar from the box, which is more than any other transit system in North America. So 20 cents on the dollar of what the TTC spends comes from some level of government, which is the lowest amount of any transit system in North America. Well, we have the North America's busiest highway. Oh yeah, we got some interesting statistics here. Grand theft and bike theft capital in North America. So it's here for 30 seconds. Oh fuck! We're right at that point in the clock where there's nothing. Unstable, yes. So motherfucker's got a cat. Motherfucker's got a cat. And I think his buddy's got a cat too. I don't care, it's just a cat here. That's the cat's way of letting you know it existed. The cat statues in ancient Egypt, down to ancient Egypt, and the Egyptian relics and ruins and all that shit, right? Oh, and if you're wondering, that was 1.36. Oh, Damn, I need a regular proper split. Whatever I smoked earlier was not proper. I'm getting really sick of that improper. Ooh. 3.56. Oh. See, everything works out in the end. This is not the correct size for a half quarter by any means. Oh, so, if you follow along, I called the city the other day about the ventilation system. I know the last time, 20 minutes, and the person won't even admit they speak a language. Any language. These are the sounds the woman's making on the fucking phone. That's the world I live in, where they pretend it's egalitarian and feminist and all this. They want women that will stand there and go and not say anything unless it's approved of by some man. And that's how she got the job on the phone. If you put a thinking person, it wouldn't matter male or female, on the phone. You put two people in a row, 7.5 minutes to get to transfer to someone, 14.5 or 13.5 minutes or whatever it was to find out that the person doesn't speak at all, cannot speak a language, refuses to identify a language we can attempt to communicate in. So if you follow along, there's a company that's been in and out of the building for weeks now. What do? Fire control. The next thing, these assholes are going to be at my door telling me, well, they got to come in and do this and do that. They're working in this building without ventilation. They're fire control. They're working in the building without ventilation. And these assholes go, well, we paid the receipt for the inspection. And the city will go, oh, well, then it's fine. The problems will say, go talk to the city. This is how it works here. So these idiots are exposing themselves to fucking meth lab fumes and mold and dead body smell all goddamn day. But they're good. They're good because they're a union, right? These people throw batteries and smoke detectors in the garden. They came in 4 years in a row taking my smoke detector, giving me a brand new one. I don't want to give you the old one. Oh, this is what we're doing. Yeah, well, it's not your land, white boy. You never came back. The 1 year some big dudes started getting mouthy with me. Come in here and try something stupid. Blah, blah, blah. Buddy, I got niggas twice your size. I think I said homeboys. Twice your size. If I say nigga, the white person will disregard what I'm saying because I'm white, right? So when you see me getting into confrontations with white people, if you hear me, it ends with gur because I'm talking about what they're saying about me in their own head. They don't like that because I nail it dead on every time. They really don't like that. Every criticism they have, they're just looking for somebody to dump on. So every criticism they have, I can nail down exactly why they're criticizing it, and it pisses them off that I can do that. And the woman up on fucking, not Perth, the next street over. I don't know why you're doing that. You're just making it weird. Blah, 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 blah. I'm going to do it tomorrow. My neighbor did it yesterday. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You just want to bitch at a nigger working. Excuse me. You just want to bitch at a nigger working. Oh, well, yeah, you're right. Oh, okay. So all I had to do is repeat myself, and you said it. You said it. I didn't have to push her, play games to trick her into saying it. That's not what happened. It was on the tip of her tongue, and then she said it. Oh. So nothing's really going to get to me. I'm going to still keep doing what I'm doing. I'm planting food. I'm getting back to basics here. I'm planting food, plants, beneficial weeds, meaning you can't kill them. Look at you people still spraying chemicals on dandelions. You haven't figured it out yet. Every time you do that, you make the dandelion stronger. Then you go to the store and buy chicory instead of coffee, because coffee is evil. And if you don't know, if your vegan friend's laughing, it's because chicory is dandelion root. Oh, you rip them all out of the lawn, eh? People used to get it backwards. They thought I was trying to get rid of the weeds, and they thought I was ripping them out wrong. I would rip off the top half and all the leaves and shit out, but leave the roots in there. Oh, I won't use it. It'll grow back. Yeah, I know it'll grow back, but the whole time it's growing back is devoting all its resources to what was the theory back then? That was 8 years ago. Last time I worked on somebody's lawn. We don't own a lawn anymore in this city. I needed the leaves for compost in the soil or nitrogen or some shit. I wasn't trying to kill them off. It didn't matter that there were dandelions. If I rip out the one, guess what's going to happen? I'm going to get 5 more in the same spot. Oh. So, think I uploaded one video off this damn phone, but it was close to a gigabyte.
10,353 steps, 10.3 kilometers, 513 calories burned.
And that was only working half the day. I don't remember how far I walked the other half the day without that. I could look on the map book, but I went back and forth a bunch of times too. I want to hear the autoresponder. I'm not sure. My phone, everything got fucked up when the power went out. Yeah, we had a power outage the other day, different power outage. 10:30 on the dot, off. 11 o'clock on the dot, on. Really? Really? That's not suspect. What happened to the generator? Yeah, it used to connect to the emergency lights at the very least. What am I fucking dialing? I need to know when it's going to rain, but they don't know when it's going to rain. Oh, it's going to take 10 fucking rings. Hold on. Oh, no, it won't. It'll take 6. Where's my cigarette? I just need to hear it go off once. So I can take videos of what I was actually doing all day. 60 seconds and you're done. Go, oh, I get it. You grows them on the fences. Well, I guess that's what the call screening sounds like, right? Can you? How the fuck did it do that? Why didn't it fucking answer me? Bullshit thing after bullshit thing. And if I showed you all the plan, if I could show you a picture of the plant, much easier than trying to describe it to you. You go, oh, that's what that is. And if I show you how they grow, this is incredibly easy what I'm doing. The tricky part is figuring out who to mail these seeds to. My grandmother told me if anybody saw me picking the grapes off the grapevine out front, they would come and cut it and destroy it. She's fucking right. Every time people see me collecting them, the vine gets cut. It's okay, I'll just plant the new one. It's a very bad idea to do that, because once I plant the new one, the old one isn't competing for resources anymore. That's right, it'll go back stronger. Ooh. Oh, why do I keep calling this woman stupid? They're talking about once everybody gets the vaccine and we've reached the herd immunity numbers, the teachers can stop wearing the masks and the face visors, which they're not wearing face visors. No, they're not. And talk about it'll eliminate some of this anxiety about blah 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 blah. Hold on a second. You want to expose people more to something that will kill them, but you don't want them to be anxious about it. That's what they do with our kids, but they call them our kids to their kids. They call it co-parenting. Today they're bitching, oh, it's dangerous and blah blah blah. Hey, you're a co-parent. You claimed ownership of these kids. You've been saying that since 2005 or 6. That's the teachers unions. Same assholes still. If they did anything other than molest children and steal money, I might not have a problem with them. And somebody's going to go through, oh, yeah, trouble in school and blah, blah, blah. No, everywhere you see that it's got bad marks, well, you're a nigger, so I'm taking 10% off. I never got an answer as to why I was required to be in essentially detention at every recess and lunch. All right, again, racial discrimination. I wasn't allowed near African studies. Okay, and then I was forcibly transferred to English. Then they got mad. My marks weren't bad enough to just fail me. Right, they fucking... It's a teachers union. Don't get it twisted. 4 unions, it's like 4 gangs. It's like 4 Trippz sets. It means nothing. No, it's separate. No, it's not. And of course, the indicator don't work.
Put in work, getting paid. Where my niggas at? Fucking Friday night, where the fuck is everybody? I just wanna party, like I won the lottery. Fucking Friday night, where the fuck is everybody? I just wanna party, like I won the lottery. I just wanna party, like I won the lottery. I just wanna party, like I won the lottery. Fucking Friday night, where the fuck is everybody? I just wanna party, like I won the lottery. Just got off the plane, juice all in my veins, 6 buzzing my name, no one on these flames. Fucking Friday night, I ain't playing no games. I'm that West End chick that was raised in the
Please,
lane.
keep tapping everything other than what I'm touching. That's the way to convince me you're not acting.
Raise a bar for the sea. If the work ain't clean, don't come for me. They show up before, but they wanna come around. I'ma ride this wave till the water run out. I'ma spark this blaze till the fire burn out. I'm up before, but I'm almost done now. Fucking Friday night, where the fuck is everybody? I just wanna party, like I won the lottery. Fucking Friday night, where the fuck is everybody? I just wanna party, like I won the lottery. I just wanna party, like I won the lottery. I just wanna party, like I won the lottery. Fucking Friday night, where the fuck is everybody? I just wanna party, like I won the lottery.
As for why I spelled gorilla wrong, because kids don't need to know what a guerrilla is. That's a French school. They know the word guerre. They don't need to know. So if you see spray paint gorilla gardens or such to make them laugh, and please, this is the way to convince me my shit's not being hacked. So even 2 seconds ago, as I'm tapping on my phone, it's this neat little game. Wherever you tap on the phone, it hits to the right. Oh, so I'll move to the left. Oh, now it goes to the left. Okay. I'll hit it right in the middle. It goes to the top. Right. This is the way to convince me my phone's not fucked with. You guys are fucking stupid. As with all sex offenders, stupid. Well, your IQ might score off the chart. But if you think that makes you smart, you've completely missed the point of an IQ test. What's an IQ test measure? Well, your intelligence, right. Because what is intelligence? It's what the IQ test measures. Oh. Every time these assholes run out of something to say, they go back to the message is the media. So then they just talk about the media. Like they completely forget what that meant.
My niggas in the room, cleaning up, sweeping up with a broom, run it down, run it down, run it down, double cup, double cup, double cup. So I got a couple racks today. Didn't think I'd make it, but I made it back today. Cashing out in the bank every day. Put in work, getting paid. Where my niggas at? Fucking Friday night, where the fuck is everybody? I just wanna party, like I won the lottery. Fucking Friday night, where the fuck is everybody? I just wanna party, like I won the lottery. I just wanna party, like I won the lottery. I just wanna party, like I won the lottery. Fucking Friday night, where the fuck is everybody? I just wanna party, like I won the lottery. Just got off the plane, juice all in my veins, 6 buzzing my name, no one on these flames. Fucking Friday night, I ain't playing no games. I'm that West End chick that was raised in the lane. Yeah, you won't
Lung cancer, heart disease, emphysema, complicate pregnancy.
Raise a bar for the sea. If the work ain't clean, don't come for me. They show up before, but they wanna come out.
That's interesting.
I'ma ride this wave till the water run out. I'ma spark this blaze till the fire burn out.
That's interesting. I'll look at that in a second.
Sure, when I looked in the mirror this morning.
Had a rough night, eh?
Oh, there has been a rougher one. Look, boy, before you get caught with my receiver down, who are you and what do you want?
As to who I am, you'll find out very shortly. What I want is you.
How romantic, and over the phone yet.
Let me finish. What I want is you to lay off that cable car business.
Oh, that. Well, I'm afraid I can't. You see, I was sitting beside him when he discovered his transfer had been typed sort of permanent.
You do everything different, eh?
I I've been told I had a couple displacement for such a career. But I found there
Displacement.
wasn't enough money in it. A girl has to maintain a nice apartment on Telegraph Hill, keep enough clothes to highlight the displacement I mentioned, and also eat, doesn't she? Sure.
It's in the days before
So
implants,
I turned
remember
private
that?
eye. You meet a better class of people, mostly named Rigger or Morton. Now take this cable car deal. It's positively fantastic. But after all, this is radio, isn't it? Like to hear how the whole thing happened?
Lead.
Leave us trip along to Act 1.
So that's a wheel weight from a car. You spend money on this thinking adding weight to your wheels will improve things. I'll show you the high-tech fucking clip that holds it on there.
I wanted to get downtown that morning, but I couldn't.
Yeah, it's not. It's a little bent piece of steel with lead on
They
it.
were ripping up about 87th Street, which is par for the course.
And when it falls into
So
the
I
fucking
walked down
storm
Telegraph
drain,
Hill enough to make
completely
that's where the
negates
Van
the
Paul
removal
cable
of
car
lead
stopped.
from the gasoline you're burning.
All aboard. Come
This will sit in that
on,
storm
Lana, show
drain
that
forever.
shapely ankle.
It's too
We
heavy to
gotta
get sucked
make the
up.
famous by whipping cars.
The car was loaded, and so was the character next to me. I tried to budge into the seat between him and the Fisherman's Wharf Dowager, but I couldn't quite make it. I'd forgotten my shoehorn. Say, pardon me, but would you mind reading your Wall Street Journal over that away a bit? I'd like to sit in here.
Oh, if you insist.
A night of old. He budged his hips a quarter of an inch, and I slipped in, ready for my rocket ride over the hill and down into town.
Rocket. So the red rocket is the
The trip,
Toronto
as usual,
streetcars.
was uneventful. 3 smashed fenders and several choice words I'd never heard before, but I wrote them down. By the time our prairie schooner reached the turntable at Market Street, the crowd on the car had thinned out. But Buster was still beside me, his head buried in common and preferred.
Market Street.
I started to get down.
Hey, lady, take your boyfriend with you. We're heading back up the hill.
Boyfriend, all soon. He looked like the advance man for Lewis and Clark.
How do you like that? He fell asleep over his stocks and bonds.
I looked again.
I do
Hipsy
believe
wasn't
that was a
asleep.
joke of how ugly Indians are.
Hipsy was stone cold dead on Market.
It may have been a joke about age, but I doubt
who
it.
always went on the prowl for a whodunit, get one literally tossed into my lap. He just hadn't gone out of this world serene-like. Oh, no. There was a steady slurp, slurp of blood trickling down his desk just north by northeast of the equator. After a
He's a
half-hour
killer.
wait full of
Just like I
questioning
would.
by homicide legmen, I knew my morning shopping tour was rained out. And after all, I was only going to buy an emerald clip to match the glint in my eye. Well, that would have to wait. I knew the next step. I grabbed a cab home. I wasn't long in waiting. Right on cue. And if it was the right cue, it would be Lieutenant Ray Mallard from headquarters.
What is this?
Daintily
They didn't even do the
pressing
intro
his
today.
against my apartment buzzer. I was right.
What?
I've been expecting this. Come on in, Mallard.
You've been expecting me. Why, Candy?
Naive little rover boy, you. Have a drink?
No, I'm not in the mood. Just make it a double.
Sit down,
So it's
Mallard.
unfortunate
Be
that
civilized. Take off your hat.
It
the
is
static
Oh,
is coming from something modern. Probably the Android box.
Candy, for once I'm puzzled.
I think was the last thing I
Yeah,
concerned was
it's
fucking up
true.
this station.
I've checked and rechecked. No matter how many loose ends I
It's more
tie
authentic
together,
with the
I
AM
still
static,
get
but it's
no
less
connection
authentic when you
between
realize
you
it's
and
digital.
Dwight Ellsworth.
Greg, who's what?
Ellsworth, your extremely limp traveling companion on the cable this morning?
Mallard, I can give you an angle on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. The angle being that I didn't know him from Adam.
Level?
Straight. Oh, look, honeypot, this mediocre dialogue is getting us nowhere.
Level,
What did you haul your size
straight.
11s into?
Wow.
Well, frankly, I don't know. Here, fill it up, lady.
Well, you're not just going around in circles, Mallard. You're going around in doubles.
Yeah. Like I said before, Candy, you've got a pretty view from here.
Oh? Wait till I turn around.
I mean, from your window. Look at that ship down there, just docking.
Where?
Down there. There's
Oh.
romance for you. Probably just in from the Far East.
Would you drink?
Oh, thanks.
You know, it is sort of romantic. Don't you think it'd be fun to jump on a tramp like that and whisk off to the South Sea?
Huh?
On honeymoon?
No.
That's what I thought.
Oh, I almost saw a dog get run over today.
Mallard.
Almost.
Don't call me Mallard.
Why not? We're just playing for dust, aren't we?
Oh, very
The scene was
crisp
almost
production. Candy,
disastrous.
we are. Not in this case.
The little kids there, things do. Oh my god. The dog ran out the door as the woman is reaching for someone to
Sure,
recycle.
sure. Go on now, get out of here.
What?
You heard me. Lift your hindquarters and
And
get
this
that
particular
head
dog is not
Andy, I don't
car
like that
smart,
look.
street
There's something
smart,
on your
road
mind.
smart.
Yeah, but you wouldn't recognize it if I told you about it.
It's one word of warning. Don't dabble. You're in deep enough.
They caught him
Got it.
twice.
Got it.
He got away
Yeah,
twice,
grab
thinking
it.
it's a game
So
to
long,
play.
Mallard. See you around the
Ran
jailhouse
out into the
sometime.
street. Second lane from the right. His ass end slides under an SUV,
Was then
in
I
between
smelled
the
big
front and rear
taxi.
wheels. Hold on.
That
The
great
driver slams on the brake, and the back wheel does not hit the dog.
Oh, he saw it, but he
The
missed
little kid
it. It was
flipped
that
and ran the
shit
other
we saw,
way.
Dawkins. That was the first time I came out of the dark since my Tunerville ride down the hill in the
He
morning.
came this close to watch
I
his
needed
dog
help.
get crushed.
So I called an old friend of mine, if you can call that help. Rembrandt Watson was his name. He was a photographer and other things. He spent most of his life in the
I
dark
was in the
room
first
dabbling
one.
with bottles. His negatives and prints were sharp. His thought processes not quite. But he had given me assistance in the past, so I called him.
Rembrandt Watson speaking.
I know I'm gonna hate this. I'm gonna hate this.
Yes, Rembrandt, I know.
Also available for gardening, janitorial service, and babysitting.
Rembrandt, it's candy.
Especially if they're over 21. Ooh, candy?
Now you're tuned in.
How dare you, baggage. I was experimenting with a new type of formula.
90 proof for 100.
100. And candy, it works beautifully. There's a
180,
delightful
bitch.
little
This
pixie
Canada.
in a pink ballet skirt in my living room.
Well, leave her there and get over here immediately to my place. Take a cab. I'll pay for it.
I'd much rather have a handsome carriage with a brace of chestnuts.
You've got him in your head. Now just do as I say and get over here.
I'm gonna hate this, man. I'm gonna try and sit through it, but I'm gonna hate it. I can tell already I'm hating it. If I had 20 minutes beforehand,
Float in, Rembrandt.
Gad Trippz. Where's the man to take me cloak, gloves, and topper?
You're wearing a sport coat and slacks, and you know I have no man.
Therein lies your basic trouble, my dear. You have no man.
Now, Rembrandt.
Every man should have a woman, every woman should have a man. It's the incontrovertible law of the universe.
what about all the
And you
homos
should
and
have a
dykes
man.
and trannies?
Sure, I'm no longer a man. I'm Sprite.
I know, I'm
Transcending the
very
world.
mouthy,
Stop
but you
transcending
know
the
I'm
world and come
right.
down to earth. We've got a job to do.
How poetic. How idyllic. We've got a job to do. For money.
Eventually.
Oh, one of those. Very well, my dear. Bring me up to date.
Well, I don't really know if I can or not.
Good. Then I shall leave and return to my formula.
Oh, no. What I mean is, the whole story is so fantastic you'd never believe it.
I might. I think, Candy.
Well, I get on a cable car and sit next to a character reading the Wall Street Journal.
A strange coupling. A cable car and the Wall Street Journal.
Yeah. And when we get to the end of the line, my friend next to me is dead.
Probably the ride down the hill frightened him to
I
death.
switched that card
He
around.
looked like a used punch board.
That
He had a
phone will work
miserable
with
bullet
making
hole
live
through his
videos
heart.
on Facebook, if
My
nothing
little
else.
Vanderveen friend in the same
Although
skirt
the
is more
camera sucks
believable
to
than
shit, so
what
what
you
about
just told me.
I told you it was fantastic, but none know how it happened. Now, sooner or later, Mallard is going to come out of his fog. And when he does, I'm going to be out of a feed.
A fee that so far doesn't exist, my pretty.
It will, if my hunch is right. Now, here's what I want you to do. Go down to the Chronicle and get all the back files you can on Southern Island Steamship Company.
The Chronicle of Pleasure. I have a few questionable companions there who indulge in formulas.
Stay away from those companions and just do as I ask.
Very well, my
Pattern.
love. I go, but entirely against my will. And where will you be?
Around town, Rembrandt, I've got to do some legwork.
Let me assure you, Candy, you have just the right equipment for it, too.
What a joint. I'll bet they knocked split gullets on the walls instead of deer heads. Well, come on, Candy, get your tools out and screw up your courage.
Yeah, miss, what'll it be?
Nothing right at the moment except information.
Information, water, both free. What do you want to know?
I'm looking for the purser off of Dwight Sonia. I hear he does his shore duty in here.
That's right. Name Campbell. I had on the table over there. Belongs to him.
Thanks. Hello, sailor. Hey, Campbell. Wake up.
Oh, there you are.
Come on, snap out of it.
Who are you? What do you want?
My name is Candy Nets, and I want to ask a question.
No, I'm only drinking.
No way.
Not until I find out what I want to know. Dwight Ellsworth was murdered this morning.
Well,
I thought that would bring you to.
well, that's the nicest news I've heard since VJ Day. What do you want to know?
Where does his brother live?
That stupid. He's got about as much spine as a water wheel.
Never mind. I want to find him. He seems to keep his whereabouts as secret as an atomic stockpile.
The whole family ought to be knocked off. He lives out in Secret, 25-Road.
Good. Bartender, buy my friend a little reward. And one for yourself. Well, so far, so good. Oh, how did I know about Campbell the purser? Well, you see, I have quite a few friends, most of whom my pal Mallard doesn't approve. So I grabbed a cab and navigated the driver out towards Secret. It was so foggy I couldn't see the meter. But I paid him anyway, gave him a neutral tip, and dismissed him. There it was, 25-Road. An austere-looking cabana. One that dared you to ring the front doorbell.
I did try. I can't take it.
I had the awful feeling I should have been around at the side door delivering hand laundry. Good evening. Except for the fog, yes. Is Mr. Ellsworth in? Here.
Thanks.
But I'm afraid I must ask you to leave. There's been a death in the family. I know. That's why I'm here. Come in, please. Thank you. Walk this way, please. Oh, I'm afraid I couldn't, even if I lived to be 100. Mind your tongue, young lady. You're in the house of an Ellsworth. Oh, Poiky, the old babe had delusions of grandeur. Well, no need to get uppity with me. I mingled with royalty. I once played a bit part in a Rita Hayworth picture. But this old gal was really something. She couldn't have been more than 45, yet look.
Almost. I tried. But the thing is, they will replay, if they play that show again, they will replay the same episode each time. This close to a 27 up here anyway. It was a North American V8 and they upshifted. And then upshift, you can't hear it past. That's the other thing. I like taking videos of his cars. Damn it. Oh, this past year's been fucked up with my equipment, such as it is. That's right, these idiots hacking or harassing while I'm going live. I wasn't planning on doing all this shit live. So it's kind of humorous to me. If I was just uploading, I would never have to deal with that shit. I wouldn't even know they were doing that.
Fucking Friday night, where the fuck is everybody? I just wanna party like I won the lottery. Fucking Friday night, where the fuck is everybody? I just wanna party like I won the lottery.
Fucking power's about to come. Someone's fiddling with the breaker, so I don't fucking know anymore. They're fucking smashing holes in the wall or something.
Where you at? Hit me up, where the money? Where the stash? Get his paper, get his cash. No, we here, with my niggas in the trash. Put it in, flip it quick, get it back. Add me up, with my niggas in the
I'm hoping it's the outlet that's worn out.
Tweaking up,
So
with
we
a
fix
room.
that.
Run it down, run it down, run it down. Double cup, double cup, double cup. So I got a couple racks today.
Oh, yeah. I keep interrupting myself. The other thing, aside from growing food with beneficial weeds that are winter tolerant and tolerant of pollution and bad air and all that, is I'm not going to let these people walk through sewage water. Well, the city's going to pick and choose where to do work. I know that. We already know that. You throw your water bottles in our front yards. The kids pick up 2,000 water bottles in Thorncliffe Park. And what you have to offer us is you giving us a free ride to get your vaccine that you insist we must get so you don't get sick. Because somehow, even though we're the ones represented almost 1.5 times in the infection rates, it's us making you sick. Oh, fuck that. Captain Cocksucker told me not to fucking cut the weeds away from hydrants. I didn't listen to him. I didn't listen to Buddy with the gun. I didn't listen to Buddy in the car the other day trying to, oh, you're throwing glass. What glass? Go find it. No, I know how to argue with these punks. If he was white, I would have grabbed some piece of glass and come at him. What glass? He wasn't. Then no blood clot glass. What glass I'm breaking? What glass I'm kicking? And that's why they gave us the treatment. That's more to reverence. The MiG-42 fired 1,200 rounds per minute, almost non-stop. We know that the Allies never seen anything like it, because Fusée Nationale and maybe it's just Fusée Nationale, it doesn't matter. The companies that make this model of gun all modeled the pieces of what the Germans did in the 40s, 30s and 40s. You cannot fire single shots off this thing, no matter how big you I think girls may be a reference to the pinup girls. And Rosie the Riveter.
And all the Soviet grandmothers of the AKs. Never mind. That's a different year. I know. We just talked about it. Mark your packs with your block number, motherfucker.
I think I know what the number 4 here is referencing. I think.
So I'm guessing.
Very interesting. Must be open season on Ellsworth. Okay, Candy, time you filled in the blanks. Start.
Wait a minute. I want to look at the window over here.
Wild horses could
Mallard,
drag me
there are a couple of
away
younger Ellsworths living around town here. I'm sure you'd like to see them stay healthy. Get out the 25-dash road and pick up an old crone also named Ellsworth. 5 will get you 20. She's the one you're after.
All right. But you get back to your place and stay put, understand? I want to have a more illuminating chat with you.
Oh, no, I'm just like putty in your hands. The moon was coming up over Diablo and spraying a path of silver on the bay. Still no Mallard. I wondered what could be wrong. Well, this was it. This was a showdown.
You see the tall face of the horsey woman?
Oh, Rembrandt.
Andy, I'm so mad at you I could... Oh, what's this?
Now what's the matter?
What's the matter? She says. I've been roving all over Powell Street ringing doorbells. Where did you go, you traitor?
Rembrandt, I'm sorry. In the excitement, I forgot all about you.
What excitement?
There's been another murder.
In a moment, there's going to be another. I'm looking right at you, Candy.
Oh, cool off. Have some formula and stop snorting steam. What was that?
Your window, Candy. Just shattered.
What? Wait a minute, that window didn't shatter by itself. Quick, get the lights, Rembrandt. Now duck down here.
Sort of a silly game we're playing now.
This isn't a game, Billy.
Were those push button lights?
Candy!
My grandmother had
Candy, you all
those.
right?
Yikes, it's the gumshoe.
Yes, I'm all right. Where are you, Mallard?
Over here. 2 houses over. We've got your girlfriend trapped on the roof next to you. Don't move and stay covered.
Okay.
All right, Mrs. Ellsworth. Are you coming down peacefully, or do we have to play cops in an office?
I'm not coming down until I get that Candy Max. She did it. She forced me to kill my own brother-in-law.
Have it your own way. Okay, loosen her up a bit, boys.
Better than the 4th of July.
The same sound effect on every radio show.
Ready to come down, Mrs. Ellsworth?
No, I'm not.
It's odd, because they could order machine guns in the mail.
All my plans.
You see how cheap the radio companies were.
Her snooping and spying. She's going to die, I tell you.
It was a miracle, Candy. You must have moved slightly just as she shot at you.
It was too close. She's dead.
Oh, decidedly. I think she was dead before she hit the ground. That one shot got her. We went out to her house, and she was just driving off when we got there. We trailed her up to North Beach, lost her for a block, and then spotted her car at the top of the hill here. We arrived just as she was getting on the roof next door. Okay, now you tell me your little dream.
Well, it was that shift dog that set my wheels going around. The name Ellsworth started burning in back somewhere. You saw the clippings we dug up.
Yeah.
The South Sea Island steamship lines were slowly being sabotaged. I did some checking, and I found that the insurance companies weren't going to renew.
Yeah.
Neighborhoods being
I don't know why I
sabotaged.
didn't tie that in sooner.
Oh, it's just that you have some other things on your mind, Melody. I went out to the place on Dasher Road, and when I left, I was pretty sure the old girl had knocked off her brother-in-law.
Why?
Well, for several reasons. One, she was a venomous old witch. Two, you've never seen such a collection of guns in all your life. And her husband admitted she was a darn good shot. I also saw one little pot gun that was very interesting. It had a silencer on it.
Uh-huh. That was the one she used on you tonight.
And also the one she used on Dwight Ellsworth from the window of that apartment where you found her husband.
How do you know?
Go back there. You'll see a nice little
Doug
bullet
Ford,
hole
John
in the curtain
Tory,
with burned powder all
Justin
around.
Trudeau.
Don't
And if you want, I'll
tell me.
participate, but I already am. I want to see how much of a leader of Toronto tap water you can drink.
On a certain cable car. She waited that morning until we were riding by, and she plugged him.
I have now heard everything.
And the reason? Dwight Ellsworth, rather than fighting the insurance companies, had decided to sell his steamship line. But the old gal thought she'd beat him to the punch by knocking him off. The steamship company would then fall into her husband's hands.
Yeah. What about her husband?
Well, after he gave me the check and I left, they evidently had a fearful row, and she spilled the beans. Somehow she lured him down to that place on Powell and gave him some lead poison to it. And that's all there is to it.
Candy, I wish you'd have told me all these things earlier. We might have been able to save the life of Roger Ellsworth.
It wouldn't do any good. Because if she hadn't killed him, I was going to. While I was waiting for you to get here, the phone
That's
rang.
not the
It
box.
was Uncle Charlie, the
That's
honest
that
miller.
piece of there's a piece of equipment somewhere.
His check bounced like a brand new golf ball. What's so funny, Nellie?
Listen in again to the further adventures of Candy Matson, Girl Sucker.
There's a piece of equipment somewhere within radio range, which could be anything.
Sometimes you don't. In this case, nobody did. Except Brenda.
It'll change in intensity.
His darkroom with $50 worth of formula. And not the kind you use on negatives either. Let's see. Murder on a cable car, Dwight and Roger Ellsworth done in, as well as the old gal. One check to bounce. It really does sound fantastic, doesn't it? But I told you this was great.
They tell us about streetcar wires. Don't worry about streetcar wires.
Maybe I did come out ahead of that. On the way out, Mallard ringed down the system. The first time it ever happened. You know, at times it's kind of fun to be in the arms of the law.
Listen again next week at the same time for excitement and adventure.
Orange
just
hairs.
dial
Orange hairs. Orange hairs.
Yukon 28209.
It's perfectly legal where I am, and it's my
Helen
medicine.
Cleve, Jack K. Hill,
That's
and
not
Terry
just
Beckles, Jack Thomas as Rembrandt, and Henry Left as Mallard. The program stars Natalie Masters
made
as
up
Candy,
bullshit
and
people
is written
say.
and produced by Monty Masters.
Stay tuned for Archie Andrews next on Theater of the Mind.
Absolutely not.
2/3 of Zimmer's nearly 3 million readers say their financial security is their own responsibility. Are you one? Then you mustn't miss the new.
They said Archie Andrews. So there's some type of piece of equipment nearby doing that. I don't know what it is. There's no way to find out what it is. I would have to triangulate it somehow. I couldn't even reliably reproduce that, I bet. I don't know AM radio on your cell phone, is it? I want to hear what all these these outlets have to say just yet. Let me get more fucked up. I'll be all right. I'm gonna try to take it in. Can you hear that? It's like a dragon, something growling at you, spitting fire. It's not coming closer. Damn. I see cars that I could describe to you. They're souped up, whatever, but that's not the same thing as catching video. It's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. Sleepers, all sorts of sleepers. Let's see. Keep it up. I don't know how you got the music player waiting for your feedback to play. That's the part that don't make sense. Keep it up.
Hey, what do you want to do?
So the whole first chunk of this song was already loaded 10 minutes ago when I pressed pause. When I pressed pause, it was already loaded because the player was about to pull it up. So what was that captain? That's a good question. Right, unplug the internet cable. Keep it up. Keep it up. Oh yeah. So you can see the part of everything that's supposed to be this missing. That's his big thing, up and down. Of all the things I saw done remotely on my system over the past 6 months, this is the least impressive, bro. You're not a hacker. I don't even think you qualify as a proper stalker because you're not instilling fear or whatever. Yes, up and down. And that part takes so long. Oh, it's gonna go down again before it even finished coming up. That's what I mean by compulsive and pathological. You've got one tool that you just can't help but use it.
Break out the papers, roll the papers, light them up, cause we're here to stay. So what you wanna do?
It's not surprising since we know you are. Put up with eyes closer. Because we know you are a sex offender. Before you started any of this dumbass shit, you're not good at what you do. You're not good at what you do. That's on the problem. Yeah, up and down.
Smoke out, we back down. I feel real hot when I hit this light. I feel my soul on fire.
Alright, you watch it bounce up and down just like I am. Ooh, well, I'm not really watching. Same thing again. This will happen over and over all the time. So I was trying for the keyboard to do it. Shorty got pneumonia, well, she got the bird flu. Rats, bats, cats, dogs, and all that. For the chainsaws that we got on sale. Cause none of us gives a fuck about making bail. We give a fuck about making sales. Fucking dummies wouldn't understand.
You know who I am, motherfucker, get acquainted. I be so high, fucking on pressure. Never need to worry, cause I get it by the bush and I get it by the pound. You get it by the G, you be running around the town. I just say I made a fake, every one of them. Young sled, I go harder than the rest of them. That's what people saying, I'm the best and all the best of them.
Too fast, past the place. They're just flying by, like, without any loading. I haven't seen Chug Chug in months. I hope they didn't scrap him. Don't you dare scrap that locomotive. Don't you dare.
No, we need that in case ever one day we need to move something secret. All that smoke will hide whatever's on the train. The commies and Nazis looking at the spy photos go, well, we saw them move it, but we still don't know what it is. Just an old chug chug. I'm getting very suspicious because I keep seeing brand new paint jobs. And rented locomotive. I didn't know you could rent a locomotive. I'm gonna rent one and have them parked it right next to the building for the day. Just need it for the day. You're sitting there, that's all.
Stupid chunk, dog. Try to jack me, introduce him to the block. Another hater suck my cock. Tell the ladies that I love them. Chicks that they wanna get with me, so I'll think above them. I like them a fucking oven coming back with the sick shit. Don't be staring at me, watch I have her on my dick. Quicker than you motherfuckers ever did. I'm hella sick, I'm high up in the sky. I'm like Mount Everest, pressure get fucked. Get back from me, so sick with the accuracy. Step the fuck away, those who average bitch ain't no match to me. Ain't no fucking weather box like me, man. So how you fuckers looking at me like me, man? He-man, woman made us still a part of it. Fuck that shit, a part of it. I fucking started it.
Just a Volkswagen and Honda. I want to set trail cams around the neighborhood. See what I catch at night. I'll come back, camera will be gone. We smashed up crack pipe.
Living Mi'kmaq in Donald Trump's U.S. of A. This week we take a summer trip to visit our Mi'kmaq relatives across the border in the state of Maine. I'm Glenn Wheeler, and this is Mi'kmaq Matters, a podcast about Mi'kmaq people, politics, land, and water.
So for a very significant portion of that international boundary, it's never been properly surveyed on foot. It was written on a map. They love to show you, oh yeah, we cut the trees on both sides, all the way down. They love to show you that. That's like a couple kilometers. I don't know how far it is, but they don't do the whole thing. They do fly Predator drones right up to the edge of Canadian airspace.
Before the arrival of the Europeans, the land of the Mi'kmaq people included most of the lands of what is now.
Come on. I gotta sit in here, he won't do it.
Dang, son, I got
because the game is making me reach.
Times them just for fun. They want to see me with my hands out begging for funds. They ain't gonna see that shit cause I really make runs. They saying that they gotta get the job done. And when my crew come, they ain't gonna say no more in the slump. They gonna be deceased from head to toe. They ain't gonna breathe no more. Ain't gonna see no tree. Ain't no more paradise down here. It's only hell or up. You won't get a chance no more down here. I ain't showing no fear. I gotta ride for my other side, and they gotta ride for me, cause they gotta say that they'll die for me. They gotta shine for me. If I shine on my own, then fuck, they won't lie for me. They won't lie for me. They won't die for me. I mean, this big haters ain't gonna shy with me. They ain't shining with me because I put them all in the past. I told all these haters cut them off and all to kiss my ass. Haters don't love it. I ball just like Nash, saying that they wanna ball, throwing bins in the trash. I'ma hit it up like fucking haters. I gotta see it later, like fucking adding up my stacks with the calculator, saying that they wanna brave something just like braver. I'ma be braver than you, probably be the first heartbreaker. I never broken hearts before, but I just might take you. Shit, boy, I gotta remix this shit like a bitch gotta read this.
and they do everything they can. What would you call it? Antitrust type shit to shut down any competition.
What happened, miss? This car, it came out of nowhere.
You think he's talking about a Grand National. But what if he was talking about like a 98, 88, 98? They made both those, didn't they? The 88, I'm thinking some shit like that. It was good. Wasn't there a fucking Magnet for the 2100 or something? Wasn't with all that shit? That was a long time ago. Yeah, you don't see them on the road because they're all in scrap yards. They're recycling the beer cans.
Infatuation, verbalization, spit at you. Duck the oral boomerangs back to smack you. Raw with disinfectiousness. Hydraulics got spring like mattresses. In fact, this is bionic Oldsmobile. The sonic wheels like Panasonic. We play this on Alpine. You
I could use a coffee. The coffee shop's closed. Thanks, everybody.
Out the tap like water, mega verbal slaughter, sip, cheap, sick and sharp in the sea. You touch me, you catch a charge from the energy. I'm blessed with tremendously hot spit, straight out the cockpit, distracted, clock tick, then blah. The vocab is mad, meticulous in the way we split the alphabet to tab, ridiculous, say the light. Peripherals match the hindsight, the high view, it glides right. Computeristic delegates, selling attack, analog, and galactic sonic wheels, bionic Oldsmobiles. Computeristic delegates, delaying tactic, analog, and galactic sonic wheels, bionic Oldsmobiles. Protocol, the master mechanic, ratchet and twist me. It's the oscillator in me. Walmart pharmacy of your mainframe, better yet brain frame. Please not attempt to refrain or restrain no catalog of rhymes, cause I will definitely dog mine. Fucking all my hoes from behind. Look at that fat ass, smack that ass. Hot nut skeet, wipe off your mother's sheet. Believe me, I've achieved the epitome of the automotive industry. Oldsmobile, those of you that can drive better than great. Take the motherfucking wheel and navigate. CHP obstacle courses and impossible forces and transfer to you by me by simple exchange of the Oldsmobile key. Drop the 1D and you know how my dick can search perfect. But just jerk me off, bitch. Look at me, I'm rich. Look at my old mag chrome cell phone. Why the fuck go home? Just kick back, touch your tits and drink the nut and shut the fuck up.
That was a Hemi. That had to be a Hemi.
Analog and galactic sonic wheels, bionic Oldsmobiles. Computeristic delegates, delaying tactic, analog and galactic sonic wheels, bionic Oldsmobiles.
50 cents for each of these. At least somehow hooks me up.
And you see the breeze overshoot 3-point range has strange traits. Strange pace, opera sound, Shakespeare. Get my breaks done like great beer. Urination champion, ultimate breakdown, crazy legs spinning heads. Break dance with a bomb and fluid to get through it. Dancing like a ballerina with skates on. The Indy 500, AJ 40 to get this race on. Richard Petty looking under the hood, 4-cylinder, millimeter heater. Drinking gin and beef eater, oil check, standpoint, man point engine. 4-pipe sight mic, standing on the racetrack like Fat Mike. Stock car, distributor, delivery. Analog cubic feet with hubcaps falling off. Coming up the street with a helmet and Trojan like Proman. Evil force like the Omen, Pakistan travel down on track, strip challenger, Daytona 2000, the Racer X, drink of wires, changing the wires, right on Jim Jim, spit the flame in the backseat, listen to rock, him smoking weed with great bait, pumping mystical state. Computeristic delegates, delaying tactic, analog and galactic sonic wheels, bionic Oldsmobiles. Computeristic delegates, delaying tactic, analog and galactic sonic wheels, bionic Oldsmobiles. See this happen. I need to hear this car dropped and he come flipping around the corner. You can hear her, sit her up in the air 20 feet. Then it took off without even slowing down. She landed hard on her back and he was terrible.
Alex Rice got thrown like 180 feet. My drunk doctor. It was 2012 or 13, possibly 14. These are all perfectly preserved. I hope they're not dead.
Yeah. Hey, yo. I hold a murderous mind, it's dark and twisted and blind, and meant to define as the grim lethal rhymes. The dark night of master, spit natural disasters, lust for own practice, and blood plasma plasma. I'm the one you don't get to play with, cause I'll finish you. Sick in the cerebral, insanely relinquish a flurry of pain and verbs of rebuttal context. To flex razor sharp syllables and slice necks, and step to a beat, and step with the rhythm. I beat that ass like the beat when the bass starts hitting. My personality's hitting, so which one is it? Got 7 homies in the rain, including derelict. Stone cold hard with a go hard drive. Stone so smash with these old so dope lines. I'm the lifeline and I'm the life. Get it. We've been got since like July. I ain't want no problems.
Seriously, like, did that ruin the game for this motherfucker? Like, if he does it now, I don't have to do it. Like, I don't have to move. It's the stupidest exploit in the world. I know what these assholes do. They do this to, if they can find a kid watching a smart TV and then make it do something. They put audio in the odd times. For me, I'd be saying creepy shit. What do I get? Dang. Wow, that's fucking incredible, bro.
Even Gwen Stefani had a holler back, though. Flashy since it started cat.
I don't know where that sound comes from. I don't recall finding it anywhere on this device. I could look again, but I don't think it's on there.
I wonder if these niggas notice it. I'm a gangster, they call J Bar. My whip a race car. The tech been bad and bullshit, them bullets take off. It's beer big bags of bread, we getting the make off and shake off. Some Nicolas Cage, and that's some face off. The reef and Ghost Rider, the motorcycle on fire, shoot your face off. Press to make it sound like it's a paintball. You know me, the glitzy, it was kinda Shaka Khan. And my homies Jaco had more bananas than Donkey Kong. Break it down. This ain't a Lambo, it's a Honda. Let's get it. This ain't a Lambo, it's a Honda. Let's get it.
Got the semi on me like a nigga that be rocking Chuck Taylor. And the cocaine, they got comeback. I call it cut razor. Really got me on a fuck state. I gotta stay low. I can't trust niggas. Me, I got weeded and bad bitches. Don't forget money, nigga. What's greater? I got probably like 100 flows, so I'm different. I don't got one flavor. I be shooting what you running for. Got a gun on you, so you much greater. All I know is tying niggas up. If you run in their crib, got a duct tape them. Shoot a nigga in the stomach if I ever feel he about to break one statement. Pussy boy better stay low. I got a halo for any break so. Money bags cause I make dough from that yayo. I got pesos. Bill a bitch, I let her make hoes. Mic drip, turn rain snow. Yo drip is like no drip. I got an old clip for that cane for. Tell you bitches what I came for. Fresh, I'm hopping out the Range Rover. Got them lame hoes trying to call me back for that dick, but they don't get no name though.
Let these niggas know what I came for, but my niggas stay up in the plane clothes.
A lot of scrapping and it's not great to you.
What you need a raincoat and the gang though, when they carry weight like a Lambo and the Durango, when the Kango and the soul school for the bando, when we had the pearl on the handle, I got your bitch doing that yoga flame like that scene, like you know what I mean, you see more chest than the lacrosse seat, like I ain't no wonder how they lost me, they couldn't watch me going high speed in the pitch that without a high beam, put the pitch first like Jai, just start busting it like you was right.
I keep it 100, I swear that they feeling my niggas are drumming. If I put a price on their head, I'm still gonna fuck with a bitch and I never will love it. They bluffing, they doing this shit for the public. I shoot at your stomach and take all your budget. My thuggin' is out of this world like a shuttle. I probably go run in your crib if I wanted. I kill my opponents. I feel like I'm Hogan. My slogan is kill 'em. If I'm in the moment, I do what I want when I want. Put a hole in your face if you talking that bogus. If they got that money, I'm keeping it loaded.
This ain't a Lambo, it's a Honda. Let's get it. This ain't a Lambo, it's a Honda.
I don't know how that sound comes through on this mic in the end result. The music's funny.
This ain't a Lambo, it's a Honda. Let's get it.
Weather station made in, I guess it's West Germany. The one says West Germany, the other one says Germany. Barometer in inches of mercury, temperature in Fahrenheit, and the
Times is hard, no doubt, different ways to struggle. No stranger to the racket, a failure to raise a hustle. Plus what? About 20 bucks for a day's work. How the luck, I turn a white tee into a gray shirt. Ain't no punk on me, maintain. I need good respect. One thing, I get the looking jet. Got the good connect, no stranger to the snipe game. Cheeks taste like cigarettes. From the butts on the ground that I found, used to filter in no.
For some reason, 60's at the top. 75% has its own little mark there for some reason. Yeah, it's possible street to get up. I've been looking at it for 10 years. I still can't remember what the fuck. Check it. Barometers, he's 21, 30, 29, 28. And there's a little needle you can say. Seems to always do 30 and a half in Toronto, unless the weather's going to be bad.
Serenity felt fed off these raps that I bring. These words help me escape. I say fuck a therapist. I hate mankind. I'm against all like a terrorist. In the arms of security, stolen away. Destiny and loved ones led my soul astray. Reflect my past so you see this life's been good. Chose correctively even when pressured by the hood. I put my hands on steel, coke, the rock in the slates before the wake, cause I didn't need my life to be in decay. Some say it's the choices you make and then you seal your fate. Either you're dead one in the head or in jail you face. Reflection and regret, your force of fucking action. Fed off sin, ego and your love and your passion. Infractions you said melted your soul down to nothing less. A shell of life patiently waiting for time of death. I made choices that have been good, ones that have been bad. You see how I'm living, so you know that I'm glad. I'm proud to say I'm steady and my life is set. I live like there's no tomorrow, never hold regrets, so don't hold your breath. Yeah, I never hold regrets, so don't hold your breath. Yeah. These days I'm on empty, so don't fucking tempt it. I'ma make it there eventually. These days I'm on empty, so don't fucking tempt me. I'ma make it there eventually. These days I'm on empty, so don't fucking tempt me. I'ma make it there eventually. These days I'm on empty, so don't
But I find it odd is no country claims these as coming from there.
Sometimes I wonder if we're on the right path.
Referred to as Ontario grapes.
Backwards in math, but there's some wild Ontario grapes. Even when they gone, the feeling lingers on. Before I know it, right to the break of dawn. We got this belief that won't let us stop. Everywhere we go, we're always getting props. Anyone that's heard us know we're going to the top, but we're not there yet. It's not a sure bet. No matter how this ends, I got no regrets. The first time I heard myself was on the nest. People can't wait to see me on their TV sets. I got dreams of jets and feeding my family. Could this be preposterous? Thoughts about Grammys? What if it's not my fate, even though I flow uncanny? Am I supposed to force my way in? All guns blazing? Should I be selling drugs at the days in? Instead of writing verses at home on my days in? Now I'm in my living room pacing, joints and casing. More than anything, I want this for my wife. More than anything, I want this for my family's life. So roll up a dice, I mean it's all the chance. So I stay my battle stance, waiting to take over the lands. If you feel what I'm saying, please wave your hands. These days I'm on empty, so don't fucking tempt me. I'ma make it there eventually. These days I'm on empty, so don't fucking tempt me. I'ma make it there eventually. These days I'm on empty, so don't fucking tempt me. I'ma make it there eventually. These days I'm on empty, so don't fucking tempt me. I'ma make it there eventually. I like the way the microphone looks upon this stand. I like the way the microphone feels inside my hand. It feels like I've finally been let out of my cage. To this microphone, I begin to let out my rage. People coming up to me, they're trying to say, you can't be an MC, so move out the way. But I step up, cause I always stand my ground. I would take a fucking bullet for this life I have found. Yeah, the ecstasy I get when I'm about to spit is like what you get from the shaman in the derelict. I don't treat my rhymes like a whole treat's a trick. Another dollar from another fucking dick. I've opened up my mind and I learned to use my heart. But the screw was like a grinder said he tearing me apart. But I'm like T-1000 molding back into one. Using this microphone like I'd use a gun. Shot so loud from Newfoundland to BC. Flooding your mind with the records from Gang Green. Taking over this underground scene. People screaming out CKREP. I know that I can make it if I only believe. Because living my life is like living a dream. I wake up tomorrow and things aren't what they seem. But I know that I can make it, I know that I'll succeed. These days I'm on empty, so don't fucking tempt me. I'ma make it there eventually. These days I'm on empty, so don't fucking tempt me. I'ma make it there eventually. These days I'm on empty, so don't fucking tempt me. I'ma make it there eventually. These days I'm on empty, so don't fucking tempt me. I'ma make it there eventually. Yeah.
Wow, that came out clean. That was just split right now. really technical, this is concentrated grape juice. You want to get really technical. If I threw this in your drink when you weren't looking, it now contains concentrated grape juice. Damn it, I wasn't finished with that. I can make another one. I'm gonna have to deal with these grapes. I need an air compressor. Wagwan.
The unruly rough rider, the nomad. My face soured up like milk with a ghost bag. The unruly rough rider, the nomad. My face soured up like milk with a ghost bag. Could've made a name, but got a toe tag. They could've cyphered with me, they need a notepad. I put the hit in the house, I'm looking for that. I put the hit in your mouth, you just a program. I ain't got respect for y'all here. I put the work in like a job fair. I put the work in my mind clears. Get hot oil with Gorilla Tape to an armchair.
So you can believe this if you want or not. So I moved the mouse cage back up here, but one of the things that fell down, but this isn't that's not why I did this. Oh, so hey, I don't have to stand up. So I still have my dog's leash. So just a leash. It's a leash I found. It worked on 2 dogs. It's whatever the fuck it is. It's I think that might just be 1 inch exactly. Heavy duty shit. And someone told me to stick it in my pocket and carry it with me because I was gonna find a dog today. Yeah. Yeah, so in my mind, I stepped back 1 level of insanity. It's like I'm taking my dog for a walk today. That sounds less. It's easier to tell people. Never mind. But and then the thing happened with the dog running out in the street. He didn't just run straight out in the street. He fucking stupid dog is what it is. I'm assuming they got it recently and that it's young. Well, I guess it's not an assumption that they got it recently. It's a young dog. I don't know how young. Everybody always wants to guess that shit. I don't bother because it wasn't old. I think it was less than a year. It's not. It doesn't know about cars. I think next time it'll remember that it didn't know what to do when that wheel almost hit it. I'm hoping. And I bet that kid never lets that dog off leash ever. Yeah, so this and that happened today. Oh, you believe that if you want. That's what happened today.